be with you, Martha. First, I don't think it was demanding anything. I think Europe wants to take over the traditional defense of Europe. They should. It takes the burden off the American taxpayer. It's what President Trump ran on and promised, and he's delivered. And now it's the next natural extension, and that is that they would pay for the defense of Ukraine, which wants to be a part of the EU, wants to be a part of Europe. And so ultimately, this is, again, an America First foreign policy statement that is good for Europe, it's good for the United States, and it delivers, middle-class jobs. Because the reality is right now in Europe, they cannot manufacture the armaments required on the battlefield of Ukraine or on the battlefield if there was a potential war in Europe. So the United States is the premier manufacturer of these weapon systems, and they're going to deliver them to Europe, and Europe's going to pay for them. And it's a really smart way to go about it.
So in terms of this 50-day window, that after which Russia would have these really forceful sanctions put on them, and it's in legislation by Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Blumenthal, the president seems to want to have in that bill what they're calling optionality, so that if the bill passes, it would be up to the president to decide whether or not he wants to impose these sanctions based on behavior from Russia. Is that right? And what's your sense? Is he going to get that into that bill?
Well, under the Constitution, the president is the person who exercises foreign policy for the United States of America, and any bill that could help him exercise that foreign policy authority should give him full flexibility to dial up or dial down sanctions or any other tariffs at his desire and at his will, because that's how he's going to ultimately bring a peace on the battlefield. But what's most important in this whole thing is it needs to be understood that the only way Russia conducts this war is because of selling oil. And the only way they sell oil is through their shadow fleet to places like India, Brazil, and most importantly, China, who are continuing to enable this war. And it needs to end. And that's how you end it, is you go after the way it's funded. And that is funded through their oil being sold to those three countries primarily.